and things, but of course when the chief rabbi is going to be here speaking, so try to of course act in the proper way. Thank you. So this time in the yahrzeit time is always pressured for me. Pressure, why? Because how can I fulfill the mitzvah of kibud av va'em? And the mitzvah of kibud av va'em is more after lo aleinu, a parent passes away, he has nobody to really help him like when he was living. When he's living, he could get his own cup of water, he could take care of himself, more or less. You get somebody to help him. The shamayim, it's really the responsibility of the child to la'alot oto, to bring his neshama higher and higher. So like I mentioned in the stories, my father, anything he really had, he gave away for tzedakah, to charity, to help people. He was happy when people made money. There's a lot of people in the community that today they're very, very wealthy. In my father's zechut, that he helped them out, used to give them credit, go buy, you don't have money, start selling, trusted the people, gave them chizuk to go out to start business. And I said at the time when my father passed away, a lot of people would okay. So shani yahid da gol meraba yibarich legamer rabba sheret. Put on the chat that the rabbi is here. Rabbi ahava lo v'hibba be'ava lo v'hibba shadayu yibarich oto ישמעו בצאתו כל העם יוצאים קראתו ויאמרו לו ברוך הבא ויאמרו Okay, so boys, we have a great zichut tonight to have the rabbi with us. The rabbi was my father, Alev Shalom, was a personal, very close friend. I'm sure the rabbi will tell you of the rabbi. We were zocher, the yeshiva is here already for 20 years. We were zocher to be neighbors with Rabbi Vadia, Alev Shalom. And of course, when you have a treasure, you have it, you don't know how to use it. Sometimes you don't appreciate it enough. And of course, when the Chavadia Alav Shalom passed away, we said, wow, he was our neighbor. We could have went more to get more berachot, to see him more. So hopefully we're going to fix that mistake. And we're neighbors with the rabbi over here, and we'll try to use him. He should live and be well, be zocheh to la'afit Torato, to spread his Torah, all of Am Yisrael, all of the world. And to be mahazek, we appreciate very much he took out of his time to come and to give us hizuk. Eilu nishmat, my father Aharon Yosef ben Mazal. Chavod. Hayom. Alayla. Okay.
ברשות ידיד נפשי ראש הישיבה הגאון רבי דוד לניאדו שליטה. מוריי ורבותיי, ברוך השם, I feel very connected to Yeshivat Lev Aharon since it was established about 20 years ago. I am a neighbor. I think I am a good neighbor to the yeshiva, Baruch Hashem, and I enjoy to come here every time. And Baruch Hashem, I know the I know that you sacrifice when you come here. It's not so simple. You finished high school. After you finished high school, to instead of going to work to make money, or instead of going to college, university, you come here for 1, 2, 3 years, and some they come and then they said no more, no money, no college. We want to study Torah. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. So you have a zechut to be the students of Rabbi David Laniado. I want to tell you, his father, alav hashalom, he grew up in a house of Torah. His grandfather, Chacham David Laniado, alav hashalom, he was very close friend of my father. And my father said about him that around the world, he never saw a man so the best midot, the best character, like Chacham David Laniado. He was very, very special. And all the rabbis loved him very much. He was an example for anava, humility to everyone. And his children, they are around the world, and his father-in-law is a chief rabbi in São Paulo, Brazil, Rabbi Rabino Ephraim Laniado. Baruch Hashem, every time I go to Brazil, I'm his guest. And his father lived for many years in New York. And at the beginning, he was helping yeshivot. His job, instead of working in the business, he worked. He had business. He was working for the business. But except that, he was in charge of charity. And he was giving money. He was convincing people, making pressure on people to give money to tzedakah and to yeshivot. And Baruch Hashem, he educated his son, Rabbi David, to be Talmid Chacham. And he decided to open this place. He called it Lev Aharon, the name of his father, Aharon Yosef ben Mazal, alav hashalom. I want to tell you, everyone has to give kavod to his father. Of course, we love our parents. We want to give them kavod, respect, kavod. But there is pasuk about Hiskiyahu HaMelech. The king Hiskiyahu was a great man, big tzaddik, the top tzaddik. The Gemara said that Hashem was thinking maybe he has to make him Mashiach. So big tzaddik he was. And after he passed away, the pasuk said, "Vekavod asu lo bemoto." Am Israel gave him kavod, honor. The Gemara explains, what is kavod? What is kavod? To make the coffin from gold? Or to make a grave special with a stone, special stone? No. The Gemara said, Shehoshivu yeshiva al kivro. They established yeshiva not on his grave. Tosfot said, not on his grave. His grave, it's not allowed to study Torah there. Cemetery, it's not a place for learning Torah. So it means, not far from his grave, they made yeshiva on his name. I don't know what name they gave to the yeshiva, but Hiskiyahu, of course, was the name. So here we see the son gave kavod to his father, even when he was alive. Lev Aharon was called from the beginning. Baruch Hashem. His father saw the kavod that his son is giving to him, and he was happy so much. He was excited. Every time when we talked about Yeshivat Lev Aharon with his father, he was the happiest man. And I will tell you a story happened to me with him. We were friends. The truth, I was not his rabbi. I was his friend, very close friend. He came to Shabbat to my house, and I used to go Friday to eat something. Kibbeh Hamda with him. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Yeah, we were friends. One day he came to me, and he opened the door. He entered. He told me, he was smiling, shalom, shalom. I told him, Aaron, I'm sorry. I'm learning now a very, very complicated subject, and it's very sensitive. I have to check every word I write. Has v'shalom, and can make mistake, it will be not good. So, serve yourself. You have the frigidaire, take something to drink, and wait for me. Give me 10 minutes. Okay, he was sitting, drinking, watching me, and I was learning. A few minutes later, I told him, forgive me, Aaron, wait. And you have to wait more. Okay, after maybe half hour that he was waiting quiet and I was learning, I got nervous. It was very complicated. I wrote, I erased. I didn't know what to do. It was very complicated. I got nervous. I told him, Aaron, I'm sorry. Leave me. Leave me, come another time. After I was waiting half hour, he was very angry. He was angry at me. What is this? You tell me, wait, and then go away. So he left. Boom, he closed the door, left. So, what can I do? So, when I finished, I tried to reach him, I couldn't. A few weeks later, I was in New York. The car was going in Manhattan. Suddenly, I saw him in the street. I told the driver, stop. I jumped. I said, Aaron, forgive me. I apologize. Forgive me. He said, you apologize? Has v'shalom. At the first moment, I was angry. But after that, I thought, this rabbi, he needs me. I give him money. I help him to collect money. He needs me. And even he needs me, for him, the Torah is more important. He told me go because he wanted to study Torah. I appreciate that very much. And then you have to know, I made many telephone calls to people to tell them what happened. I told them, look, this rabbi, he sent me away because he wanted to study. You have to understand the value of the Torah. This was Aharon Laniado. Then, when he was sick, before he passed away, I was in New York. I went to visit him. I surprised him. When he saw me, he was very excited. But he said, why, Rabbi, why did you come to me? I am a simple man. I don't deserve that kavod that a rabbi comes to visit me. So he was tzaddik, he was good man. And Baruch Hashem, all the Torah you are learning here, he has part of it. Yeah, maybe 50%. Don't worry, you will get 100%. No, don't give donation from your Torah to anyone. But Hashem has, and Hashem will give. Hashem will give you 100%, and to Aharon Laniado also 100%, because the yeshiva exists because of him. All the power of the yeshiva is because of him. And Rabbi David also you will get 100%. Yeah, Be'ezrat Hashem. So, tonight, Leilui Nishmato, we have to accept on ourselves more Torah, more Irat Shamayim. Like him, he worshipped Hashem, he loved Hashem, he loved Talmidei Chachamim, Torah, Mitzvot. Continue this way. Baruch Hashem, you are here. Baruch Hashem, the atmosphere here is very good. learning Torah, it's warm in the heart, not outside. Outside it's cold, but in our heart it's warm, good, the best here. You enjoy every moment you are here. Because if you continue, it's a different story. You will be Talmidei Chachamim, it's a different story. But some of you that will go after that to business or college, this year you will never forget, and it will give you power. It will give you for your soul, gasoline to your soul for all the rest of your life. Be'ezrat Hashem, for many years, from this year, what you get this year, it will be very important. So use every moment here. Enjoy the Torah. Enjoy Talmidei Chachamim. And Be'ezrat Hashem, I hope we will see you going with Torah, mitzvot, תזכו כולכם לחופה, תבנו בתים נאמנים בישראל, ושיהיה לכם שפע גדול של פרנסה טובה. בעזרת השם תצליחו בכל מעשה ידיכם, אמן כן יהי רצון.
Everybody, we're going to do school now. Be'ezrat Hashem. Everybody have a seat. Came through his head. And he was very, very careful with the tzedakah money that he had. The yeshivot, I'll tell you a little trick, little thing. So all of the rabbis wanted to get to my father, right? They used to, when I was in yeshiva, they used to invite me for Shabbat. That this way, when they would go to America and they would need flus, they'd tell my father, "Oh, I invited your son for Shabbat. I took care of him. This would be the opening to get in." And also, even though I wasn't such a successful student, but they wanted a connection, so they took me. Little did they know that my father, he did not want to help. He wanted to help, but he didn't give money from the cash foundation that he had to the yeshivot that I went to. Or he had a sister that was a almanah, was a widow. He didn't want to take from that money because he was scared that they might say, "Oh, why are you giving to this yeshiva? Because your son learns it." And maybe using it for his benefit. Why are you helping your sister out? She's almanah. They might say, you know, you have a little benefit. And he always used to say, Hashem should help me. He had, at the time, it was not like today also, it used to be a lot of cash rolling around. Okay? And he had all the time, they used to keep everything by him because they trusted him. And he always used to say, Hashem should help me, that I should never make a mistake. I should not take $1. Because he knew that he has a zechut. Okay? He had a money machine, really he had a mitzvah machine. Because every time he's able to give someone, it's like he said, the Kadosh Baruch Hu gives 100%. So if he gave $1,000, it's his, somebody else, he was okay to give it over to get somebody to give. It's like he gave $1,000 and he had this machine running all the time and he was frightened not to lose the zechut. And he said, if I make any mistake, I could lose, Hashem should take this away from me. I don't want to lose this. When I opened the yeshiva also, so a lot of money going in, coming out, and a lot of times it's nisayon, it's a test. Well, you say, okay, I need this, I need that, maybe I need. And this always was in my blood, right? My father, how we have to be careful of money of Ekdesh, right? Not to Chas v'Shalom touch anything for your personal benefit. In my family, like you said, my grandfather, Alav Shalom, all the time for the others. His own children, secondary. First, help everybody else. We'll figure it out. This is the shlita, this is what he gave over. So when he passed away, he really left nothing. He went through a lot of hard things in life, whatever it was. So all of those millions and billions, whatever he dealt with, he left over nothing. I mentioned today that he won the lotto about 50,000 shekel at the time, and those few shkalim that we had, we used them to pay for the matzeva, for the stone, for this, that. That's it. That was what was left over, nothing more. And at the time we're thinking, wow, like how could it be? So my father, like I mentioned, he lived to give. That was his goal in life, to help people. How could somebody teach a lesson of giving? So imagine someone has $100 million. And he gave ma'asir, according to the halakha, he gave $10 million. What do you say about the guy? Tzaddik, great guy, unbelievable, tremendous. But he still has $90 million. Didn't really hurt him. If he gave 20 million, great tzaddik, tremendous, 20%. But he still has 80 million. If he gave 50 million, he still has $50 million. How can you show a lesson that you live to give? To show that lesson, that was his tafkid and his musar in life. When you have nothing and you give, that's the lesson. It's not about how much, it's about somebody needs help. You gotta help him, that's it. It doesn't matter about me. That's what I do. I gotta help this person. It's a tremendous concept. So at the time, people would say, this guy Hazid, he had so much. And I was telling them to Friday night, just to understand a little bit of how I grew up. My father at the time, he used to drive a Rolls Royce. He used to take me to yeshiva, pick me up, and learning Ashkenazi yeshiva. And he used to come with the Rolls Royce, and all of the boys, the whole yeshiva, from outside, from the windows, they're all looking through the windows to see this guy coming out with the Rolls Royce. And that's how I grew up, and I had the fanciest suits. He used to go with me. He was the best dresser around. He used to take me also. Same thing for him. For me, it would be no difference. And it took me after that many years until I was Baruch Hashem Zocher to get out of that a little bit, to be less connected to all of the Olam Hazeh and the physical pleasures. But anyway, when he passed away, many people say, okay, Hazid, the guy, he doesn't have anything. But if you think about it, that he invested in Torah, he invested in Chesed, look what Hashem paid him back. There's now, 100 boys sitting here on a Saturday night, Motzei Shabbat. Okay, if you ask yourselves the question, a year ago, where would you guys be on a Saturday night? Not in the Beit Midrash. That's for sure. Okay? So now, look at this business that he made, this investment that he invested in me, my brother, and my sisters, everybody invested, that the ikar is Torah, the main thing is Torah. And now look at this factory, Torah factory, that's going on already for 20 years, that Baruch Hashem turned over the whole entire community, the boys that go back and they build families. So try to think about that. If you had not a million, not 100, you had 1 billion, 10 billion, doesn't matter. If a person leaves the world, it doesn't take anything with him. He left the world and he has a business, $1 billion business that's running for him all the time, and he's making the flus upstairs in the Shamayim, and every guy over here that's with Hazek, he starts speaking Shomer Shabbat, he's going to pray, he's learning Torah, he's raking it in. Shivat Aharon in his name. So when it looks like you're losing out, you're giving, all the time giving Hazid, what do you have for yourself? Look what Hashem does. You invest, and look, Hashem pays you back. And it's not, you can't take this for granted. It's not, again, me, I'm nothing, zero, nothing to do with me. But I think about his zichud. Imagine, a guy is zocheh to something like this, that he has a yeshiva like this on his name. This is, you think it's pashut? It's simple thing? It's just by chance? This is not by chance. This is a unbelievable thing. So we have to think about it. Now, why again? Why did I think to open the yeshiva? What was my pull to open the yeshiva? When I was thinking about opening the yeshiva, he tells me, why would you want to open the yeshiva? First of all, he was very against it in the beginning, because he used to give out a lot of money to tzedakot. He used to see all the rabbis, how they suffer, and how it's hard for them to collect money, right? They weren't able to just make a campaign, all the boys collect money for them, right? They have to go, and they have to go collect money, they have to feed their families. It's very hard, embarrassing sometimes. And he said, I know what they're going through. My son is not going to be in this position, that he's going to have to go ask for people money. He says, no. He says, what do you need? You need, whatever, to live, 100,000? I'll give it to you. What's your problem? Why would you go ahead and open the yeshiva? But I had a very, very deep feeling that I want to give, because that's what I saw. That's how I grew up. Also, of course, my mother, she should live and be well. She's also very tremendous heart, also likes to help people, give to people. So I wanted to give. And when I was growing up, so I had all different types of ideas, maybe make a Hesed fund. I said I'm going to have a big house on Ocean Parkway, and on the top floor, I'm going to have a few bedrooms that all of the rabbis, whoever needs a place to stay, they can come to stay in my house and eat and drink. All different types of ideas how to help people. But Hashem gave me Siyata D'Shmaya when I moved to Eretz Yisrael. I was living in Kollel. It was very hard for me to leave completely the community. I used to go down to yeshiva called BMT, or to Mikdash Melech, or boys used to come by to my house and try to help boys. And I had boys even that were thrown out of yeshivot at the time, They had nowhere to go. I brought them to the house, and I saw that if you just accept somebody in a nice way, smile to somebody, nice to somebody, you can change his life. So Hashem helped me to have the zichut, and with all of the maybe hard work that's entailed in running a yeshiva, number one, this is the greatest zichut possible, to see each and every one of your faces of how you come into the yeshiva, and what a simcha you have today, and what a life you have, what a meaningful life, which you were missing before. So you understand all of our work, talking in the name of all the rabbis, everything that we invest, as hard as it is, we've been paid back 100 times over, because this is the biggest nahat possible. Right? Imagine, okay, I think to myself, where should I be today? I should have been in the city, in some office, selling, jeans, t-shirts, socks, shoes, I don't know what. And I probably, l'chora, nothing is for sure, but I probably would have had that house on Ocean Parkway, and driving a Mercedes, and etc., whatever the dream might be. But I want to tell you something. And this is hard for you to understand at 18, what I'm going to tell you now, because of the natural connection to Olam Hazeh, that it's worth it for me to give all of that up just to see one of you guys mahazek, strengthening your life, finding direction in life, give you a little better advice. You know what? I'm going to live my life a little bit better now, and my shalom bayit b'ezrat Hashem is going to be better, and my chinuch yiladim is going to be better. That's worth a million times more than if I was driving up over here with a Mercedes. I would say, wow, because I know Baruch Hashem, there's nothing. I always thank Hashem that I grew up in that way. Why? Because at least today, I don't go back and say, imagine if I had that. Maybe my life would have been better. Maybe it would be more enjoyable. So I grew up over there. I know all the people. I see all the people. And I know for a fact that the money is not, the Olam Hazeh was what's bringing the simcha to the person. And what's meaningful is much worth much more. So I thank Hashem a million times that He gave me the zechut. Of course, everything I have is zechut of my father, of course, and what he invested. Okay, you listen to what I'm telling you. He invested, like I say, me and all of my brothers, to teach us the ikar. What is the ikar? Now, you hear stories about my father. I'm sure you think that he's just a big rabbi with a long beard. He was the most regular guy, chillest guy, coolest guy you can imagine. If I ever spoke to him about money, how much money does this guy have, about a car, he tells me, stop, be quiet, well, what do you care, it's not your business. But came to Torah, came to tell me stories about the Hachamim. If you would hear the stories that he would say about the Hachamim of Yerushalayim, you would feel that like you're now living in Yerushalayim with the rabbi next to you. This is how he lived the Torah. When he saw people in our community learning Torah, again, he saw all the rich people also. But when he saw a guy, right, because it's not like today. Many years ago, it was very hard to find Torah people in the community. People that are going to learn Gemara, people that are leaving the businesses to learn Torah. It's very hard to find. When he saw a guy learning Torah, giving tzedakah, he would kiss him, he would hug him, he would say, wow, that's unbelievable, top guy. You see a billionaire? Okay, Hazak Baruch, Skirmitz. He saw a guy learning Torah, is Mishabe'ah. And this is what he ingrained in us, that the ikar of life is Torah. Even though he's with the whole entire world, and he can have a good time. But my ikar, what is the main thing? And if you don't have this, you have nothing. This is what he brings. There was one time, a big rabbi, he had a neighbor, simple guy, he had a makolet or something like that. And his kids, they didn't really come out so great, the rabbi. And his neighbor that had a simple grocery store, all of his kids were Talmidei Chachamim, and he killed and bothered him. He says, I'm learning all the time, I'm learning Torah, my kids don't see. This guy, Amaretz, how is this okay? He went to the rabbi, big rabbi, asked him, how do you explain this? So he says it's simple. He says, you're a big rabbi, you're Talmid Hakam, right? Yeah, okay. He says, when another rabbi comes, how do you greet him? Can you give him kavod? You say, okay, this guy, it's not like me, I'm a big Talmid Hakam, this guy is less. Do you give him all the kavod or not? No. What do they see? But when you need money for the yeshiva, you need something, the guy comes, rich guy, oh, he starts singing him, Tfadal, come, Habibi, make him a coffee, make him everything. So what does the kid see? He sees kabod of Torah, not so much. Kabod for money, good kabod. He says the simple guy, when he sees a rabbi, he kisses his head, he takes him, he gives him a lift, helps him out. So what does the kid see? What's the most important? Torah. So he wants to be Torah. So my father, for sure, with all of that, and he had a great time, and he again, you guys do not understand what it is to have a good time. Sorry to tell you, you don't understand. He knew how to good time, how to enjoy life. With all of the problems that he had, issues, he knew how to enjoy life. Doesn't exist today. Why? Because we have so many pressures on our head. We can't enjoy, right? It's the ability just to get everything off our head. So this is what he taught us, and this is why he has the zechut, that he has this yeshiva on his name. One more thing, then Mezat Hashem, my brother, zechut, it's a surprise for me also, my brother Danny and my son, both happen to, of course not happen from Hashem, finishing Masechet Ta'anit, so they're going to make Siyum, Mezat Hashem, and then hopefully the bread will rise. But, important point, remember what I'm telling you, because this is a secret of success for the chinuch of your children. That's, before you know it, it's going to be applicable for all of you. B'ezrat Hashem, you're all going to find beautiful shidduchim and have beautiful families. So, my parents, even though they're great people, but they got divorced. And it wasn't easy. What was the secret of success? Okay, Baruch Hashem, all of my brothers, sisters, great people. And as hard as it was, we didn't feel the suffering. We didn't feel that it was so hard. Why? Because we felt the love. We felt the care. We felt the kavod, and everything else just went on the side. We had the bitachon, we had the security. So even though it was hard, but we weren't missing anything, it didn't bother us. You have to make, Rabbi should be also for this, but you have to make your children the ikar. The kid has to feel that he is the number one. If the kid feels that he's number one, he'll get through everything. Okay, so this is a message that my father also he did for us. And remember this message when it will be for you, Bezat Hashem, with your children. And of course today, the challenge is much, much greater. The Nisayon is not simple, being that we have so many distractions, the phones, and etc. So we don't have even a minute for ourselves. But that is the secret. If the kid feels that you are with him, he'll always stick with you. How much kavod used to give us, like I say. He used to meet, he has pictures with every prime minister, with every Congress, I mean, Israeli Congress meeting, with everybody. If I was ever with him, okay, I'm a little kid, I'm with him, so usually, okay, stay on the side. He would meet the guy, say, hello, how are you? He says, this is my son David. He did it to him also, right? This is, do you know my son? This is my son David. Little kid playing marbles, I don't know. This is my son David. You feel like $1 billion, right? This is what he did, of course, not only to me, but to every person that he saw, picked him up, gave him hizuk, gave him a compliment, right? Again, he used to say in Arabic, Atido, I miss it. Gotta be happy, the guy, right? Let's say there was a certain Ida, they say Ida.
Congregation, community
People, some certain people didn't maybe wasn't so fond of them. But when he saw them, he used to tell them, there's nobody like this community, the greatest. He says, let him be a mabsut, what I care, let him be happy, whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? So give a guy a compliment, make him feel good. Doesn't cost you anything. Get a mitzvah, you pick your guy up. Okay, Be'ezat Hashem by the Saudah, we'll continue more and more stories. I, of course, appreciate really from all of the boys that they're taking away from the Motzei Shabbat, and I'm sure that this is going to be a tremendous Ilui Neshama for him, and I could see him right over here. I see his face right over here, his great smile, and how happy he is from each and every one of you that are sitting and growing, so that you're doing, keep it up, as at the ship. Tomorrow morning we mentioned that we're going to have a special limud. The subject that we took, every year I try to take another subject, different subject. Subject that we picked this year is regarding gezel, stealing, okay? So, of course, nobody over here, is going to go into a bank with a gun and rob a bank. Right? So that's not the she'elah. But on the other hand, it's very hard when you're in yeshiva, and when, especially in this world, the time that money doesn't really have a meaning, and everything is just take it, and people are gambling, and people are losing money and making money in all different types of ways. To understand, to be makpid, to be careful on somebody else's money is very, very hard. So it's almost impossible to say, well, I never stole anything. Of course, we have gezel shena, especially which is all, especially in the yeshiva, is problematic. All of a sudden, at 2 o'clock in the morning, for some reason, somebody just decides to go to the hallway and just start screaming. I don't know what's the problem exactly that he has, but, hello, it's gezel shena. He's stealing people's sleep. So tomorrow morning, all the shiurim will be learning that. At 4 o'clock, we're going to have a special speaker over here, also in the Inyan, Rabbi Kaplan, and then, B'ezrat Hashem, we will be starting our campaign. B'ezrat Hashem, I'm sure you all see your friend that's sitting next to you and how much chizuk is going on in the yeshiva, and that's why I want to tell you that it's not because it has anything to do with me, but really it's a tremendous zechut, I think, to help this yeshiva to grow and to strive. And as years go by, the need of such a yeshiva is even more and more. So, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to try to make the hishtadlut. Of course, we want to do Kiddush Shem Shamayim. I think it's a tremendous Kiddush Shem Shamayim when people hear that a boy, he's 18 years old, in yeshiva, but he feels that he wants to help his yeshiva. That alone is a tremendous zechut. And I was mistapik, I was in doubt if I should do it on the time of my father's yahrzeit, but I think that would be the biggest kavod and simcha to him that we try to continue to build the yeshiva and bring as many boys as possible. Okay, 1 second. Joe Dweck, Ifo Joe Dweck. What are we doing? What? Tonight? Okay, so he's just going to one announcement, and then we're going to...
Beautiful job. Naturally, you're fine. Beautiful. By the way, I have an opening when you get back. So it's fun.
I'm going to call down this guy, leave him alone.
Just putting it out there. That's it, just putting it out there. Okay, so my plan, honestly, truth was that some of you guys know this, I was on the flight here, and I decided to just open up my Gemara and said, you know what, I'll finish the Masechet here. I learn in in Deal, with Mechabuta Magzevi and Rabbi David Kasus, and we had plans to have a nice siyum in Jersey with a few of the guys, and I can give chizuk, but like I said, this is an opportunity, Linu Yishma, my father, to finish a Masechet over here tonight. It's a big zechut. So I really didn't prepare anything on Masechet Ta'anit to really speak about, but also I just think it's amazing that my nephew just came up to me and we did not plan this in any way, shape, or form, that he's also making a siyum on Masechet Ta'anit, which is just, again, it's beautiful. So yeah, I think let's just get straight to it, and we'll do it over there. Let's do it. All right, I'll just read the last few sentences and then we'll just run into the Hadran. Okay. Samar Ula, Bira Amar Rabbi Lazar, Atid HaKadosh Baruch Hu La'asot Machul HaTzadikim. Right, it's going to make a circle of all the tzadikim and Olam Haba, Hu Yoshev Benehem, and he's sitting amongst them in the middle, Began Eden, V'chol Echad Ve'echad Man'ed Betzba'o, and each one is pointing at each other. Right, in Shneeman it says, "V'amar bayom hahu, right? Hine Elokeinu ze kivinu lo, right? V'yoshienu. We're going to turn to Hashem, and He's going to send us salvation. Ze Hashem kivinu lo. This is Hashem, right? Who we turn to. Nagila v'nismecha b'shuato, right? And we're going to be joyful and we're going to be happy with Yeshua. Hadran alach v'shlosha perakim v'sdika la Masechet Ta'anit. דעתן לך מסכת תענית והדרך חלן, דעתן לך מסכת תענית ודעתה חלן. לה נתנשם מנך מסכת תענית, לה נתנשם מנן, לה בעלמה הדן ולה בעלמה דעתה. דעתן לך מסכת תענית והדרך חלן, דעתן לך מסכת תענית, דעתה חלן. לה נתנשם מנך מסכת תענית, לה נתנשם מנן, לה בעלמה הדן ולה בעלמה דעתה. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו, שתהיה תורתך ומנתנו, בעולם הזה תהיה עמנו לעולם הבא. Haina bar papa, Nemi bar papa, Nachman bar papa, Achi bar papa, Abba Mari bar papa, Rafram bar papa, Rachish bar papa, Sulcha bar papa, Ada bar papa, Daru bar papa. Arev na Adonai Eloheinu, et divrei Toratecha b'finu v'yut amecha b'Yisrael, v'nei kulanu, אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך. מאויבי תחכמני, מצוותיך כי לעולם היא לי. יהיה ליבי תמים בחוקיך למען לא אבוש, לעולם לא אשכח פקודיך כי בם חייתני. ברוך אתה אדוני לומדני חוקיך, אמן 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 סלע ועד. מודים אנחנו לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו, ששמת חלקנו משווה בית המקדש, לא שמת חלקנו משווה קרנות, שאנו משכימים והם משכימים, אנו משכימים לדברי תורה והם משכימים לדברים בטלים. אנו עמלים והם עמלים, אנו עמלים מקבלים שכר והם עמלים ואינם מקבלים שכר, אנו רצים והם רצים, אנו רצים לחיי עולם הבא והם רצים לבאר שחת, שנאמר ואתה אלוהים תורידם לבאר שחת אנשי דמים ומרמה, לא יחצו עמהם אני אפתח בך. יהי רצון לפניך אדוני אלוהי כשם שתעזן לי לסיים מסכת תענית, כן תעזן לי להתחיל מסכתות וספרים אחרים ולסיימם ללמוד, ללמד, לשמוע ולעשות לקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה וזכות כל התנאים והאמוראים תלמידי חכמים יעמוד לי ולזרעי שלא תמוש התורה מפי ומפי זרעי וזרע זרעי עד עולם ותתקיים בי בהתהלך תנחה אותך בשוכבך תשמור עליך והקיצותה היא תשיחך כי בי ירבו ימיך ויוסיפו לך שנות חיים אורך ימים לימינה ושמאלה עושר וכבוד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. על ישראל גדל והתקדש שמי רבה, רמה דיברה חילותיה והמליך מלכותיה ועצמה פולקנה וקרב משיחה ויכון ומכון בחייתכו בית ישראל בהכרה בזמן קריב אמרו אמן. דבר ותרומה ותעשה ותדע ותלב ותדע שמת ותשעה וריחו אלא מקור ברכתה שבעתה ושפרתה ונחמתה תמירם בעמה ואמרו אמן. ישראל ועל הבנן ועל תמידון והכל תמידי תמידון להסכים על איתה קדישתה דיבה אתה דלתיקה אתה ואתה להלן הדרום נכון לכינה וחיזה ולחמה מקבל ושמיה ועלה ואמרו אמן. יש רבה נשמיה חיים הסבה ושרום נחמה ושזבה ורפואה וגלל שכה וכפרה כמו ישראל ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום וברומה ונחמה ויעשה שמעדנו ועקמו ישראל ואמרו אמן.